Hey guys, this is part 2 of the custom single turbo build, and in this video I'll be showing you guys how to relocate your expansion tank from this side to this side, and also your power steering fluid tank from this side to right here. Let's get to it. So before I get into that part of the video, I'm going to show you guys a few more things that I have done. I did a little bit of wire tucking and added some heat wrap to my loom. It's pretty simple to do. Don't really need to get much into that. Also, I relocated the boost solenoids for now. All I did was cut the wires from here, fed them back out through here, spliced them back, and just tucked them into here. Like I said, I'm gonna be running wastegate for a little while until I get my reflex module that's gonna control my max solenoid. Also, one more thing that I have done was I relocated the booster line that went up from there, and it basically just went over the engine bay and back into here. So what I done is I cut the old line off, and I just took a 6 AN line, shoved it in there. It was pretty hard, but you know, with some grease you'll get it in there. And usually up here there's a 90 fitting that you can just cut off the old line and it'll fit back into that stock location. So yep, basically the line just runs this way under the intake manifold and back into there. Okay, so we're here at the workbench, and I already mocked everything up. I already created the brackets for them. I didn't really want to get much into that because every setup is kind of different, but I will show you guys how I did mine. So let's get over to the coolant side. So this is 3/4 inch tubing. You can just get it at your local AutoZone or Advanced Auto Parts. And you can get this fitting. This is a 90-degree fitting that you get from Home Depot. Make sure you get the 1 inch fitting, because I tried to get the 3/4 and it was too small for this 3/4 hose. Kind of weird, right? So you're gonna need some hose clamps. You can use your stock bolts that were already from this reservoir. And these are the brackets that I made. They're very simple to make these brackets. Just go to your local hardware store or Home Depot and just get this aluminum bar, 3/4 flat bar, and you can just bend it on the vise however you want to. Very simple to do. This is the fitting that goes into the expansion tank. Just cut it however long you want. I just cut it like this, just kind of to maximize the hose length. So for the steering pump, this is the bracket that I originally had in the car. I looked up a few pictures of the engine bays and I could not find anyone with this style type bracket. So basically I just had to cut it down, the old flanges, and just re-weld them just so they fit on the engine bay a little bit better. And for the lines, you just need a 1/2 inch tube, and just use your stock line. This one is not long enough. This is the one that runs to the top. Oh, my bad, to the bottom. That runs to the bottom because it's not long enough if you're gonna relocate it. The top one is long enough, but the bottom one is not long enough. So just be mindful of that. So let's get right to it. I'm gonna get started with the coolant side. The first thing you probably need to do is extend your sensor wire. Basically, you just splice it. I soldered and spliced it, and I just ran it all along this right here. Just tucked it right down here. And I just came out here. Here it is. Just make it long enough so you know you have some extra wire. This is how I positioned my expansion tank. Just let it sit down there. And this barb is close to that side, and this one is right across there. And a better view. So basically it just sits right on that frame rail. It's gonna look like that. Okay, so I have everything pretty much already marked up for the best fitment. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys how it would look, and then I'll show you guys on the car how it sits. So just gonna go in like that. Just gonna line up the lines that I made. Okay, there we go. That's how it should look right there. Now just put some hose clamps on it and you're good. Okay, so there it is. Now let's go test fit it. I already have my water pump installed. And this is the side of the thermostat that goes into your expansion tank that used to go back up there. So this is the line that we're working with. So with the old line, just use a Dremel and cut it off because it has this stainless steel clamp on it. Just cut it off and get that hose fully off. So looks like it's got caught down there. So this would go up there. Let me switch my hand. Like that. And then you take the hose that we just made. You take this end and it's just gonna go in like that. It's a little hard, but once you get it in there, then it's just gonna run back up that way. All right. Once you guys got it all clamped down and good, just run it across here. And what you guys will want to do is just see the intercooler piping. Go this way, go around it this way, not this way because it might get caught in the pulleys. So you're just gonna orientate it this way, like this, and then just feed it back up there. And yep, that'll be it. Okay, so there it is. It's down there. Now just connect into the expansion tank. So there you have it. Everything fits up nice. You might have to move this top hose a little bit to the side just so you can let it seat a little bit better. And then everything is straight. Don't forget the sensor. And then for this piece, just cut it to however long you want it, and it should just pop right in. There we go. Okay, so there you have it. Here's the brackets that I made. Everything's installed. The tank is nice and solid. It's not going anywhere. And it should clear the hood perfectly. All right, let's get to the steering pump reservoir. Okay, so this is for the steering pump. This is what goes up to the bottom of the reservoir. And you're just gonna take a 1/2-inch tubing. I already have it cut down to the amount I need. And also, I had to buy a 3/4 coupling so it can fit into that 1/2-inch. So just get it in there, just like that, and then put some hose clamps on it and put it up to the car. Simple. Okay, so I got the steering pump hose clicked in. It's gonna come right under the charge pipe and into the reservoir. Remember, it just goes to the bottom one, just hose clamp it. And that's how it sits. This is the bracket that I was talking about. That's how I made it. It just bolts right back into the ground strap. Just use a few washers to offset it. And here, just gonna have to drill a little bit through this firewall, add a bolt and a nut, and there it is. All right, that'll be it for part 2. Stay tuned for part 3. In part 3, I should have my manifold in, and we'll begin to mock up the turbo and all the piping for the wastegate and the downpipe.